So isn't it crazy, guys? Student loans just keep on getting worse. It seems like every year that goes by, students, these young kids, they're in more and more debt. Isn't it wild, right? And now the government is actually garnishing wages from those that are not paying their student loan debt. We have a lot to cover in this video, guys, regarding student loans, my thoughts, garnishing wages, all of that stuff. So hit the like button, make sure to subscribe, and let's dive into it.
And the bottom of my casket will have a file cabinet for all these student loans to rest in heavenly peace. That's how much I owe in student loans. How much money I owe in student loans. Now let me provide you with some additional information, since I know that this video is going to go viral because people are cruel and a lot of people are going to be ready to attack me in the comments and judge me and do whatever they got to do to feel good about themselves. I am a proud 25-year-old with over $100,000 in student loan debt. I went to school. I got a free associate degree through the early college program. I then furthered my education and got 2 additional degrees. I have a bachelor's degree in entrepreneurship with a minor in management, and I have a master's degree in organizational leadership. But one thing America doesn't know about me is that I have 1 additional degree that's not on file and it's not in the records anywhere, and that's a law degree. At any given point, I'm prepared to take the stand and explain why I cannot afford to pay a dime on them student loans. Baby, you ain't never seen a sharp, undegreed attorney like me ever in your life. It's my time to shine.
Man, she's about the fight in the courtrooms, right? You know, when the judge is like, hey, where are these student loan payments? You haven't paid them in years. And she's like, hey, listen, I'm a lawyer. I didn't get an actual degree, but hey, here's my, I'm going to fight my case. But all jokes aside, being 25 years old with $100,000 of student loan debt, that it's got to be demoralizing, right? Especially if you don't make enough money. I don't know how much money she makes, but by the way she's talking, it seems like she can't actually afford to pay back this debt, which, hey, a lot of people are in this boat. And now the government is going to start garnishing wages. I think this was a thing as of May 5th. We'll talk more about this later in the video, but yeah, I mean, before you go to college, guys, make sure it's worth the degree. Will this degree bring me in enough money for me to pay off this debt? Is there an actual ROI from this degree? You got to ask yourself that.
The actual chokehold my debt has on me as a 26-year-old with over $100,000 in student loan debt. Like so many other people, my family didn't know anything about money, anything about college. I fully applied to everything on my own, and they encouraged me to take out loans with Sally Mae, the demonic, evil student loan providers that are always pushing you to take out more. And I always see other people talking about this, and in the comments there's always people like, ooh, take accountability, like you're the one that took it out, you chose to take it out. Yeah, I did, and I can still be pissed about it. It literally, sometimes I'm like, someone take me out. Like, I do not want to be alive dealing with this crippling stress on my shoulders. I just wish I was a Nepo baby, like all of my fave influencers that I watch that had no student loan debt, no rent, nothing of that, and I'm filled with envy.
There you have it. Another person, 25, 26 years old, with over $100,000 in student loan debt. It's everywhere, guys. There's so many people out there in the same exact situation. And I like what she said. She said that people comment on our videos, oh, take accountability, take responsibility. You took out these student loans. And people, when they're 17, 18, yes, they have some kind of understanding of, okay, I'm taking out these loans, I'm going to pay them back one day. So they are taking some sort of accountability, responsibility there. They just don't know when you're 17, 18 years old, you just don't know the actual reality, the burden of having this much debt on your shoulders after college. And then when after college comes around, when you graduate, you're like, oh my God. You get hit by a reality train, right? Reality wakes you up and you're like, holy smokes, I'm 22, 23, and I have all this debt now. So yeah, I mean, people know what they're getting into in a sense, but it doesn't really settle in until a couple years later. And a lot of people regret their decision of going to college, right?
Today, the U.S. Department of Education said it's restarting involuntary repayment of federal student loans that are in default. Starting May 5th, the department will begin involuntary collection through the Treasury Department's offset program, which withholds tax refunds, federal salaries, and other benefits from people with past due debts from the government. About 5.3 million borrowers are in default on their federal student loans.
So there you have it. As of May 5th, he said what? There's 5.3 million borrowers that have their student loans in default. As of May 5th, they're going to start involuntary repayment of these federal student loans. So they're going to be taking money from you however they can do it, right? So that's kind of what's going on right now and why you're seeing online, oh man, they're garnishing my student loans or blah, blah, blah. They're taking money from me. I'm not getting my tax return, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So that's something that you guys have to realize right now. If you have student loans in default, you haven't paid them, you just forgot about them or whatever, right? No one truly forgets about them, but you know what I mean. They might be after you. Hey, they might be coming for your, for your money, guys. They're going to garnish your wages.
Y'all, they about to garnish our wages. They really know how to just ruin your day. The U.S. government hates everybody here. Y'all, as of May 5th, they're taking 15% of your wages towards student loans. Y'all, I've been ignoring student loans since I've been in school. If y'all know how much I owe in student loan, y'all would think I went to school to be a lawyer. And it's a degree that wasn't even providing me a decent lifestyle. I was just living off vibes. So you mean to tell me I went to school and y'all lied to me? Y'all wanted me to go out there and do triple the work to get a degree. Y'all, I owe so much money. I'm in Texas, so we don't have state tax. 15%. Hell, you might as well go ahead and add 5 more. Add 10. Because that's the state tax. I cannot believe this. I just had to pull over, y'all. My head started throbbing. I'm about to get a headache. They're doing this in a couple of weeks, y'all.
Yeah, there's another video on it, guys. 15% of wages will be garnished, and this is why you can't just ignore your student loans completely. I mean, if you are just completely ignoring them, they're in default, right? All this interest is piling up. You're just setting yourself up for more pain and just more years of misery, financial misery, because you can't get rid of these student loans, unless you die, right? Or you move to Mars or something. You can't get rid of these student loans. It's not happening. You know what I mean? So if you're a young person, think really hard before you go to college. Make sure you're making the right decision degree-wise. Make sure, again, like we covered earlier in the video, the degree you're choosing, it has an ROI. You can actually get a job, make money outside of college with this degree. It makes sense. Make sure it makes sense. And if it doesn't, do something else. Get a different degree, right?
I'm not paying back my student loans. I do not care. Oh, but what about your credit score? What am I going to do with a good credit score? Buy a house on starvation wages? Buy a car I can't afford to insure? I'm not paying them back. I don't give a shit about my credit score. Oh, they're going to garnish your wages. Most of us are underemployed. If they start taking additional money out of my paycheck, I just won't work. My life will not get worse. I'm not going to have the money anyway, so you can't garnish what isn't there. I grew up in a far-right, conservative, hardcore Republican family. And since kindergarten, I have been conditioned to believe that if I did not go to college, I would not be successful. I was told that if I locked in, got great grades in high school, got into college, focused, and got my degree, that I would have a life similar to the life my parents had, where my dad worked one job for 35 years, was able to buy a house and go on vacation and support his family. That doesn't exist anymore. There's no jobs out there with pension plans. There's no jobs out there that let people my age just buy a house. So what was all that work for? Generations of Americans have been told that if they went to college and they did the right thing, took out these loans, that it would be worth it. And most of us are finding out it's not even remotely close to worth it.
So yeah, this guy right here is spitting facts, man. He is so right. Well, I guess not the part where he's completely ignoring paying his student loans. I don't agree with that. You got to pay your debt, man, or else you're just going to be a debt slave forever. But it seems like he doesn't care about that. But what I do agree with my guy Joey here with, is the fact that we've kind of all been tricked into this system of go to high school, get your high school diploma, go to college, get a degree. All the teachers, advisors in high school, they all push you, it's like a funnel that goes straight to college, right? So it's like they're all funneling you into college, even if you don't know what you want to do. Even if, the degree that you want doesn't make sense. Oh, it doesn't matter, right? Oh, you want to get a degree in basket weaving, get $100K into debt, go for it. You're going to go to college. You're going to be successful, right? You're going to be successful if you go to college, right? Well, not really, not necessarily. 40, 50 years ago, if you went to college, you were most likely going to be very successful because not as many people had college degrees. But now, everybody and their grandma has a college degree. Everybody has a college degree pretty much. And this was all, it's not by accident. Let's just say that. It's by design. Why do you think the government gives out student loans like they're candy to anybody, right? Why do these tuition costs keep going up like crazy every year? And again, the government just gives out loans no matter what the tuition price is. It's like this is all a scheme to keep you enslaved, to keep you in debt for a long time. And a lot of people are in trouble, man. A lot of people are in trouble. It's all part of the plan to keep you a debt slave.
I don't think people really understand just how much debt can totally derail your life, especially student loan debt, because some of that reaches just an astronomically high price. I saw someone saying they were paying $1,250 a month just to student loan debt. Imagine your living situation right now, your bills, and add $1,250 a month onto that you get nothing to do with, and see how fast that tanks your entire life. When I was a freshman in high school, for some reason I gauged my entire 4 years of high school around not going into debt for student loans when I was going off to college. I wanted to go to college, but I was not going to go to college at all if it meant I was going to have to get student loans, because I was not going to spend the start of my life in massive debt. Luckily for me, the university I went to gave me a full ride and then some. So I was actually getting paid to go to university first from how much scholarship money I had. But I chose to go to my local state university instead of going to my bigger, better choice of a university because it was going to cost me too much money to live in that area.
So this guy's smart. Going to a local state university is always the way to go. It's cheaper, if you go somewhere in state. And I can tell you for sure, most freshmen in high school don't think the way this guy was thinking. He was thinking as a freshman in high school, I'm not going to get into debt, when I graduate and go to college. I'm gonna do it the smart way. Not many kids in freshman year of high school think like that. Most kids are like, oh, I'm gonna go to the party school. I'm gonna go to the most fun state school or outside of the state school, and I don't care what it's gonna cost. I'm gonna go into debt. I don't care. I want the experience. That's what the normal freshman in high school, sophomore in high school thinks. But this guy was not thinking that way. And I'm sure he's doing well in life right now. He's ahead. Doesn't seem like he has student loan debt, which is great. And to wrap up this video, guys, you have to realize, again, when you're going into college, it's not just about, the experience, the parties, the degree even. Well, I guess it is a lot about the degree, but a lot of it is what's going to happen after college. What's going to come from me even going to college? You know what I mean? What's going to happen after? What are the connections I meet in college? What are the networking opportunities? It's not all about just the experience. What's going to come from the experience after college? Is it worth it? Is there a return on investment on this degree I'm about to get? And if there is, go for it. Go to college. Have at it. But if there's no, ROI to your degree, if it doesn't make sense, pick a different degree or don't go to college at all. It's not worth it, guys. It's really not worth going to college with a bad degree or for a bad degree than getting out of college having all this debt with no job prospects. It's not ideal. It's not ideal. So what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to subscribe. Very important. We're on the road to 1,000 subs on this channel. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one, which, oh, by the way, there's a video right here. Make sure you guys click this one. I'll see you there. Peace out.